Welcome, adventurers from across Azeroth and beyond. Whether you're hailing from the sandy dunes of Daenerys or the icy peaks of Northrend, we invite you to the most thrilling challenge since the invasion of the Burning Legion. Welcome to today's episode of Who Wants to Be a Goblinnaire, proudly brought to you by VALOR Gaming and Guilds of WoW. I'm Sean, host of the Recruit a Friend podcast, your guide through this epic Azerothian adventure. Today, we're diving into the enchanting realms of Warcraft lore, gameplay, and maybe even some dev trivia. Will our contestant emerge victorious, or will they be hearthing home empty-handed? Stick around to find out. Here's how it's going to work, folks. Our valiant contestants will face 15 increasingly challenging questions about World of Warcraft. Along the way, they'll wield powerful legendary lifelines. Let's go over these goblin-engineered tools. Ask the Guild. Contestants can call on the wisdom of our live Discord audience who will vote in a poll to help answer the question. Summon a champion. Call forth a trusted companion to step up and assist you in your quest. Ember elimination. 2 incorrect answers will go up in flames, leaving only 1 correct answer and 1 wrong answer. Soulstone. Use this lifeline to conjure a second chance. If you answer incorrectly, you'll get a fresh question instead of being sent to the spirit healer. Each correct answer brings our contestants closer to the ultimate prize, 1 million in-game gold. That's right, no need to farm herbs or mine ore for weeks on end. We're handing out the riches to WoW trivia experts. Are you ready to meet our brave adventurer? Please welcome our contestant, Laria. Hailing from the mighty Suramar City, Laria is a veteran player since, well, forever. She loves Warcraft, she's an avid Mythic Plus runner, a title holder, a CE raider, and probably the best resto druid you've ever met. Welcome, Laria. How are you feeling today? Are you excited to show off your Azerothian expertise?
I am so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I read through the questions earlier. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I am. And oh boy, I hope you're boned up on your lore. You'll face 15 progressively difficult questions, each with 4 multiple choice answers. You have 4 legendary lifelines at your disposal. Ask the Guild, Summon a Champion, Ember Elimination, and Soulstone. The further you progress, the closer you get to that glorious 1 million gold reward. Now, let's get started with your first question. For 100 gold, what is the nickname that Thrall is commonly called among players? Is it A, Big Daddy Goel, B, Green Jesus, C, Pickle Jesus, or D, Old Green Man?
Oh man. All right. As an Alliance player, I find this question really difficult. All right.
Yeah.
Thrall. Okay.
He's the orc.
I don't think it's... He is. Yes. I don't think it's A. I've never heard of that. I don't think it's A.
Okay.
And I've never heard of Pickle Jesus before either. So I'm going to eliminate A and C.
Solid.
Yeah,
solid.
I haven't heard of those. So we're down to B and D. Is it?
It's tough.
Is it
It's
B?
tough. Okay,
Is it
so
Green Jesus?
B. So B, Green Jesus. That's what we're settling on. We've eliminated A and C. I need you to lock in as your final answer. B, Green Jesus.
Yes, I think so.
You are correct. You did it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I should go Horde.
Yeah, maybe you should swap. You now know as much lore as every other Horde player in the game. Congratulations. You have earned 100 gold. Let's move on to the next question for 200 gold. For 200 gold, what was the name of the sword that corrupted Arthas Menethil and turned him into the Lich King? Is it A, Stormbringer, B, Frostmourne, C, Mournblade, or D, Thunderfury, Blessed Blade of the Windseeker?
All right, I don't think it's A. I don't know what Stormbringer is. Nope, I don't think it's that. I have seen a lot of people link Thunder Fury, Blessed Blade of the Windseeker in chat before. I have seen that a lot in game. I don't think that's the sword. So that's down. We're down to B and C.
It's a good
But
process.
I don't. Both words have Morn in them, which is why I think it's either one of them. I think it's B. I think it's Frostmourne.
Is B, Frostmourne, your final answer?
Yes.
Congratulations, Laria. You've earned 200 gold. You're rocking and rolling.
It feels good.
Yeah. I like the process you have of eliminating which words or which answers are wrong and which ones are potentially right. I think that's going to serve you well as we get further in. Now, for 300 gold, what is the name of Ysera's daughter, who is now the Green Dragon Flight aspect? Is it A, Marithra, B, Ysandra, C, Ysera, or D, Valithria?
I've already narrowed it down to 2 possible answers. Again, it's between A and B. Because, all right, coming off of Dragonflight, I recognize both of those names. I just can't remember if Ysandra is her daughter. I feel like, all right, Ysera's name also has a Y. I feel like I would have remembered that her daughter's name also has a Y, which makes me think it's A. You see where my brain is like this logic?
Good braining. Good braining.
All right, I think. Oh man, I'm gonna go with A.
Marithra. Now, I'm going to ask you to lock this in for your final answer.
If I get this wrong, I feel like this is kind of bad.
No pressure, but there was 3.
Especially because I play Alliance.
Yeah, there was 3 entire quest chains in Dragonflight with this character, so no pressure. But are we locking in A, Marithra?
Yes.
Laria, on the $300 gold question, you are correct.
Really?
Yeah, you did it. You're rocking and rolling. All right. Are you ready to move on for 500 gold?
Yes, now that my heart has like slowed down a little bit.
Okay.
You kind of had me there. I thought I got it wrong.
Yeah, they pay me extra to make it seem like you're wrong. For 500 gold, in Naxxramas, Kel'Thuzad is one of the bosses we face. But what is the name of his feline companion? Is it A, Mr. Felix, B, Mr. Puss in Boots, C, Mr. Bigglesworth, or D, Mr. Maru?
Well, Sean, the only name I recognize in that list is Mr. Bigglesworth, and I'm pretty sure I have a companion, like a battle pet, in-game named Mr. Bigglesworth. So I'm going to go with C.
We're nailing that one down right away. No elimination, no cutting it in half. Are we locking in C, Mr. Bigglesworth?
Yes.
You are correct, and you are 500 gold richer. Congratulations. Now, we're moving on for 1,000 gold. For 1,000 gold, who are the first beings to inhabit the world of Azeroth? Is it A, the Titans, B, the Elemental Lords, C, the Old Gods, or D, Primal Proto-Dragons?
I played Legion. And I played BFA. So, and I know both of those had Titans and mentioned the Old Gods. I think the Old Gods came first, but I don't know if they were on Azeroth. Maybe they sent the Titans there.
Now, I want you to remember you also have lifelines available to you if you're not quite sure on the timeline here.
Could I use the guild timeline? Is that possible?
Yeah, we can ask the guild. We could definitely ask the guild. So we're going to ask the guild, and you're going to see a vote in the chat. I'm going to get you to vote for which answer you think is correct. Who were the first beings to inhabit the world of Azeroth? A, the Titans, B, the elemental lords, C, the old gods, or D, primal proto-dragon? This is exciting stuff. Now, Larry, I want you to know, this is important to note. The guild, while lovely people, are not always right.
Oh, no.
The results for the guild are finished. And we have what looks to be a mostly overwhelming selection of B, the elemental lords, as being the first inhabitants of Azeroth. At 53%, they have said the elemental lords were here first before anyone else. So, do you believe the guild?
I guess that makes sense. I mean, that's a lot of votes. I'm gonna go with the guild. I'm gonna go with the elemental lords. Makes sense. I had originally ruled them out immediately, but we're gonna trust the process and go with it.
Okay, so we're locking in B, the elemental lords.
Yes.
Okay, Laria, I want you to know, and I want the guild to know, that everybody here is correct. The elemental lords were here first. The old gods, just like the Titans, are out searching the galaxy for world souls. They were sent to Azeroth when they arrived. The elemental lords were already here. The old gods enslaved them, and then when the Titans arrived to fight them, they had to fight the elemental lords and the old gods when they were here. And then they pulled Yasharj out of the... Anyway, that's how that went down. Okay, moving on. Larry, you're 1,000 gold richer. We're going to move on for 2,000 gold. For 2,000 gold. What is the name of the event that led to the splitting of Azeroth into continents? Is it A, the Cataclysm, B, the Sundering, C, the Reckoning, or D, the Great Plague?
Well, I know the Cataclysm started in Cataclysm. If we're talking about the same one.
I think we are.
That means Northrend was already a thing, so it was already separated, so I don't think it's A. The Sundering makes sense if the, Azeroth was sundered and then everything was like split apart. The Great Plague sounds like something that maybe happened in Wrath of the Lich King, so I'm going to rule that one out. So it's between the Sundering and the Reckoning, and I have not heard of the Reckoning.
Okay.
So I'm doing that thing where I feel like I've voted for B too many times, and I feel like it can't be B again.
Well, maybe they're all B.
But it could... They might all be B. Or I might be overthinking things. All right. I'm going to go with the Sundering because the name makes sense.
Okay. Is that your final answer?
It is.
Well, Larry, this question was a bit of a reckoning as you gained 2,000 more gold with the correct answer of the Sundering. Congratulations.
I feel like I just keep getting lucky.
No, this is skill. I'm just checking to make sure they're not all B. Okay, next question. Laria, for 4,000 gold, who was the Lich King before Arthas Menethil? Was it A, Bolvar Fourdragon, B, Ner'zhul, C, Kel'Thuzad, or D, Tyrion Fordring?
So I think Bolvar is the one who becomes the Lich King after Arthas, so it's not A. And Tyrion... To be honest, I know nothing about Tyrion other than I think he shows up in Legion very briefly. So my attention is on B and C. Of course, B is part of the two answers I have left. Which now makes me think it might be C. Maybe it's not. All right. What did Kel'Thuzad doesn't... We fought him in Sanctum. I'm sure we fought him before that too, but he had like there were skeletons in the fight and so that kind of makes me think maybe he's had quite a history.
You also still have lifelines available if you're not sure and you're narrowing it down to Ner'zhul or Kel'Thuzad. Could always eliminate 50% of the answers. Now, Historically, when they eliminate two, they eliminate the two that you've already eliminated yourself. You could do summon a champion. You could call forth a trusted companion to step up and assist you in your quest.
Well, what happens if I get this wrong?
If you get it wrong, you still have the option for Soul Stone, which is you get a second chance. So if you get this question wrong, you get the Soul Stone question. But that can only happen once. You can only trigger a Soul Stone once per encounter. So that's the case there.
I'm gonna risk it, and I'm gonna go with C. I think it's Kel'Thuzad.
Okay, is that your final answer?
It is, I think. Yes.
Okay. So for 4,000 gold, who was the Lich King before Arthas Menethil? You want to lock in as your final answer, Kel'Thuzad.
Yes.
Okay. Larry, I have some unfortunate news. The answer was B, Ner'zhul, who I think just appeared in the chat. Ner'zhul was the original Lich King. Of course it was B. Yeah, it was B. Yeah, very strange, very strange. But good news, Laria, you have the Soul Stone available to you. Would you like to activate this now?
Yes.
For 4,000 gold, which old god corrupted and manipulated Deathwing through whispers and promises of power? Is it A, Yogg-Saron, B, N'Zoth, C, Cthulhu, or D, Y'Shaarj?
Well, Yogg-Saron is from... We fought him in Wrath of the Lich King, which in Deathwing would have been Cataclysm. So I don't think he was around that quickly after we, kind of beat him up a little bit. And then I thought we fought Cthulhu as well. So it's either N'Zoth or... Oh, wait a second. Oh, that's bringing me back to BFA. Because, all right, in Ny'alotha, the first boss that we fight is Rathian. And Rathian, I think, isn't that Deathwing's son?
That is correct. I'm just checking with production if I can tell you that he is, in fact, Deathwing's son. Yes, he is, in fact. Production has given me the okay.
I think... And Y'Shaarj, I think, shows up in Mop. So that's afterwards. Oh, man. What happens if I get this wrong?
If you get this wrong, unfortunately, you'll be walking away with nothing. I guess you could... Well, it would have been before this. You would have had to choose to stop at 4,000 gold. But who's going to stop at 4,000 gold? That's nothing. That's two augment runes sold,
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So if you get this wrong, if you're unable to identify which old god affected Deathwing's mind and used whispers and promises of power to corrupt him, much like his son Rathian was corrupted in Ny'alotha by an old god specific to that raid, then you would be done.
Am I allowed to call on a champion?
Yeah, you can definitely call a champion.
I can do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Am I allowed to call on the champion that I've selected?
I think, I don't know who I guess Jet knows that, but definitely call your champion. Hi, Merp. This is Sean from Valor's Who Wants to Be a Goblinnaire. And we have on the line here your friend Laria, and she's been posed a question and she has chosen you as her champion. Get it right. Now, Merp, no pressure, but if you get this wrong, Laria's done for the day. The question, I know, very sad. The question is, which old god corrupted and manipulated Deathwing through whispers and promises of power? Is it A, Yogg-Saron, B, N'Zoth, C, Cthulhu, or D, Y'Shaarj?
Well, I'm pretty sure Y'Shaarj, he was ripped out of the earth like immediately by Norgannon. And they were like, oh yeah, we can't be doing that. That's bad. So I don't think it was him. Cthulhu was busy doing bug stuff down in Silithus. And Yogg-Saron was too busy bleeding all over Northrend to be talking to, I think. And if I recall, having just been being a prisoner of the Dragon Soul raid because I still don't have the mounts, I do think there is a mention of N'Zoth at some point in that raid. So I'm going to say N'Zoth. And I think, as Laria alluded to, Rathian kind of losing his mind a little bit in the beginning of Nyalotha was N'Zoth taunting him, saying, "You too will fall, just like your father did." So I think it's N'Zoth. I'm pretty confident. That's my best guess.
Laria, how do you feel about Merp's answer?
I feel a lot better that I also think it's B, N'Zoth.
Okay. So are we going to lock in B, N'Zoth as your final answer?
Yes.
All right. Merp, thank you so much for your help. Laria.
Thank you.
Good news. Merp has steered you in the right direction. It was, in fact, N'Zoth.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, Laria, just to recap, you have used Ask the Guild. You have used the Soul Stone. You have used calling on a champion, summon a champion. All you have left is the Ember elimination. So right now we're playing without a net, basically. Are you ready to move on for 8,000 gold?
Yes.
Okay. For 8,000 gold, in which World of Warcraft expansion were achievements added to the game? A, Wrath of the Lich King. B, Cataclysm. C, The Burning Crusade. Or D, Vanilla.
I'm trying to remember when server first kind of achievements were a thing. And the one I feel like I always hear about is the opening of the gates or something like that. And I don't know if that was Vanilla or Burning Crusade. Because I feel like people who were there at the gate at the time, they got some kind of an achievement.
We did open the gates of Encourage in Vanilla WoW, and we were given the title of Scarablo.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Vanilla. I think achievements have always been around.
So before we lock that in, let's just talk through it a second. Are achievements and titles the same, do you think?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. I also think not necessarily. So I'll ask now before we find the results. Do you want to lock in D, Vanilla, as your final answer?
I'm going... Can I use my final somewhat safety net to eliminate 2?
100%. Yeah, let's use...
Okay.
Solid choice. Solid choice right now. Let's use the Ember elimination. We're going to eliminate 2 of these answers. Okay, so we've eliminated two answers from the question. I will reread you the question to see if it helps to jog your memory on when exactly, what month it was in 2008 when you first got achievements. In which World of Warcraft expansion were achievements added to the game? A, Wrath of the Lich King, or B, Cataclysm?
Well, between these 2 options, I know... Well, I guess this could have been added later on, but I feel like there were a bunch of, like, meta achievements for... I did not really play too much Wrath of the Lich King, but the final... What was the raid with the Lich King? With Invincible?
Icecrown Citadel.
Icecrown, thank you. I feel like there's a meta achievement where you get a mount from that. Which makes me... and to get the mount, you'd have to do the achievement and get all the achievements that are part of that achievement. So
Solid reasoning.
I want to go with A.
Okay. Larry, I'm going to ask you to lock in. Is that your final answer?
I think so.
That is correct. A, Wrath of the Lich King is when achievements were added. Yeah. Whew. That was close. All right, Nalaria.
Yeah.
Just so you know, you have no lifelines left. And we're on the question for 16,000 gold.
Okay.
I believe in you. And I think you're going to do this. So we talked about Wrath of the Lich King just now. We're going to stick with that topic. Laria, for 16,000 gold. In Wrath of the Lich King, we were introduced to our first open world spawn mount, a rare monster which occasionally appears among the mountains of the Storm Peaks. What is the name of that rare? Is it A, Time-Kept Proto-Drake, B, Time-Touched Proto-Drake, C, Timeless Proto-Drake, or D, Time-Lost Proto-Drake?
I have spent a little bit of my time trying to find this dragon. I have never seen it. I haven't even seen the corpse before, but I believe it's D, Time Lost Proto-Drake.
Would you consider that time spent hunting for them time lost? Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Larry, you are correct. It is D, the time lost Proto-Drake. That was exciting stuff, folks. We are off to a great start. Now stay tuned, everyone. We will be back after a short break with more thrilling questions and our brave contestant. Don't go anywhere.
Guilds of WoW is the ultimate hub for guild management. Easily manage recruitment, gear audits, automate creating events to Discord, and easily sync them to the in-game calendar. With so many features to offer, Guilds of WoW is the unrivaled tool for any guild.
Welcome back to Who Wants to Be a Goblinnaire? We're here with Laria, who has already proven their valor in tackling some tough questions. Laria, are you ready to push forward and aim for even greater riches?
I think so. I'm a little nervous knowing I don't have a safety and no safety nets left.
Yeah. Not having those lifelines really is like nerve-wracking. Audience, are you ready? Let's keep the momentum going. Up next is a question for 32,000 gold. Let's see if Laria has what it takes to continue their journey to 1 million. For 32,000 gold, there was an island in the game that was far outside any of the zones, unable to be reached without exploits. What is the name of this island? Is it A, Dev Island? Is it B, Game Master's Isle? Is it C, GM Island? Or is it D, Blizzard Island?
Well, I don't think it's B, for once. I don't think it's Game Master's Isle.
Okay.
And I don't think it's Blizzard Isle. I've never heard of those. I think it's between Dev Island and GM Island. GM Island sounds... the only thing I remember... I think it was in WoW, unless I'm thinking of a different video game. But isn't there some kind of GM jail, which maybe that was GM Island? Or maybe this is where they went or go when they don't want to be anywhere else in Azeroth? Maybe it's not a jail.
Do you know which of those groups of people spends more time or would have spent more time in the game, especially during vanilla, helping players? Would that have been devs or GMs? Just to maybe help figure out which one of those two that you've narrowed it down to.
Probably. I'm leaning more towards GM Island because I feel like a game master would need to help players, especially at a launch.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with C.
C? Are we going to lock that in?
Yes.
You are correct. C, GM Island is the answer. You have now earned 32,000 gold. We're moving right along though. For 64,000 gold. While battle pets have been in the game since vanilla, we couldn't always pet battle with them. When was the pet battling system added into the game? Was it A, Legion, B, Mists of Pandaria, C, Cataclysm, or D, Warlords of Draenor?
I am pretty sure, once again, it's B. I played a lot of Miss Pandaria, and that was one of the main reasons why I played this game, was because of the pets. And then I played a hunter because you could get more pets. So I think it was, I remember flying around Miss Pandaria and seeing the gold little pet icon pop up on the map. And I think that was I don't do much pet battling nowadays, but back then I feel like that was a trainer or like a rare pet or something, which makes me think you would swoop down and then engage in a pet battle.
Okay. Are we locking in B, Mists of Pandaria?
Yes.
Laria, you are correct.
Oh, good.
We're moving right along. We're getting up there. Laria, only 4 questions remain. Now, I don't want you to get nervous. We're getting close to the end. For 125,000 gold, what is the name of the only legendary mount ever put into World of Warcraft? Is it A, the Swift Azulian Tiger, B, Void Talon of the Dark Star, C, Phoenix of Eternal Flame, or D, Black Karaji Resonating Crystal?
I don't think it's B, Void Talon. That's from WoD, and that's when you have to go and you have to check the portals and you have to find you have to make sure the portals are up and that there's a rare that you kill, I think. I don't think it's that one.
Okay.
I've never heard of Phoenix of Eternal Flame. I'm not sure if that one's made up because I'm also not a mount collector.
Okay.
I've never heard, I know we have many Phoenixes in this game, but Phoenix of the Eternal, unless that might be is that the challenge mode mount from Mop?
I'm not willing to have the mount collectors watching to be angry at both of us, so I'm just going to pretend that I know.
The Black Karaji Resonating Crystal sounds legendary to me. The Swift Zulian Tiger was from a raid. I don't think that would have been legendary. That's just like a regular purple drop, or was purple drop mount. So it's either C or D. But again, I haven't heard of C before, which makes me think I know there's some kind of Karaji mount that you can't get anymore, or if you can use it, there's something like strange about it.
Okay. Sounds like you've decided. Are you ready to lock in your final answer for 125,000 gold?
That's a lot of gold. Yeah, I think it's D.
Okay. Laria? I also don't know if Phoenix of the Eternal Flame is a real mount, but it doesn't matter because Black Karaji Resonating Crystal was correct.
Go good.
You have now earned 125,000 gold. Now, we talked about it. You don't have any lifelines left. If you want, you can walk away right now, have 125,000 extra gold. That'll get you probably through the first or second week of the raid coming up. Or I guess maybe the raid is released. I don't know when this is going to air. Or we can keep going on and see if you can get that 1 million gold. What would you like to do?
That is such a big decision. Part of me is tempted to keep going because I want to know what the other questions are. But then part of me is like, I keep getting lucky answering these questions. I want to keep going.
You want to keep going? All right. So I have good news. The next question for 250,000 gold is a druid question.
Oh, I better not get this wrong.
This will determine your standing in the Dream Grove. For 250,000 gold, the Scythe of Elune, forged from the Staff of Elune and the Fang of Goldrin, was first wielded by whom? Who described it as a thing that never should have been? Is it A, Valind Starsong, B, Malfurion Stormrage, C, Durande Whisperwind, or D, Sylvanas Windrunner?
I am eliminating Sylvanas Windrunner first.
Solid.
Yep, she burned my tree. I can't look at that name. This might anger some Horde players. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We've already established they don't know this much lore. They tuned out long ago.
Valinda Star Song. I've never heard of that. I could see Malfurion saying something like a thing that never should have been. I could see him kind of having that attitude. Tyrande is a hunter. I don't know why she would be involved in that. Okay. Which makes me think it's Malfurion, because, yeah, I think he would just have that kind of attitude where he's like, oh, yeah, let's make this awesome thing. Oh, yeah, no, we never should have done that. So I think it's B.
We're going to lock in B, Malfurion Stormrage, for the answer of this question for 250,000 gold. Are we certain?
Yes.
We're certain.
As certain as I think I'm brave enough to be right now.
Okay. All right. Laria, I have unfortunate news for you. The answer was A, Valinda Star Song.
I've never heard that name before.
Yeah, they rode the Phoenix of Eternal Flame. And no, I made that part up. But unfortunately,
I was going to say that's the map.
Yeah.
I've never heard that. I've been playing this game for over a decade. I've never heard that name before.
Yeah, they were the wielder of the Scythe of Elune. Unfortunately, Laria, that is going to be the end. I'm so sad.
That's okay.
I'm so sad.
I learned a lot today.
You did learn a lot. We all learned a lot, I think. And unfortunately, that also means you're going home with absolutely no gold tonight.
That's okay. The experience was worth it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I want to thank you for being a contestant on Who Wants to Be a Goblinaire. It was a lot of fun for me. Can you tell our friends where they can find you if they want to find you when you're not answering trivia questions from a man in a tie that is too short?
Yes, you can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Laria. It's just my name. I don't use the Scythe of Elune because I play a Resto Druid. So I could, teach you some Resto Druid things. But you can also find me on Twitter. It's twitter.com/itslaria.
Perfect. What a wild ride that was. A big thank you to our contestant, our wonderful live audience in the Valor Discord, and to you watching right now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell in the icon to stay updated on future episodes. I'm Sean from the Recruited Friend and For Azeroth podcasts, and this has been Who Wants to Be a Goblinaire, presented by Valor Gaming and brought to you in parts by Guilds of WoW. Visit the Valor Gaming website at vlrgaming.com to learn more about this exciting guild. And we'll see you next time.